Hello, friends, and welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, February 2nd. Wow, February already. That January just flashed by, didn't it? It's a cold morning here in southeastern Pennsylvania, as February mornings tend to be, but not too bad. We're getting up into the 30s today, high 30s, so not too bad for February. No snow. That's good. I am enjoying some old Joe Krantz in this beautiful Boswell shot shell that was a gift from my good friend Jack. Jack, I miss you. If you're out there, I wish you would give me a call. Yeah, lost track of Jack and would love to talk to you, buddy. But anyway, I get to think about you while I enjoy this beautiful Boswell pipe. And some wonderful old Joe Krantz, which is always a nice palate cleanser from Haunted Bookshop, I guess you could say. So, got a lot to talk about today, and I didn't think I would. If you watch my Friday live stream this week, it was a great live stream. More people than we've had in a really long time. I mean, according to the analytics, we had 90 people at one point, which is great. You know, I love that, and the chat flies by so fast I can't keep track of it, but it's fun. I don't know why, and it was probably one of the worst live streams I've ever done because I didn't have much to talk about. I wasn't in a chatty mood. I was very tired, and yeah, but anyway. So, as I started thinking about what today, I was actually thinking about skipping this video because I just haven't been in the mood, you know? I don't know, there's so much going on these days, both in my own, like, work life and stuff like that, and then the world itself, and I don't want to drone on about politics and that kind of nonsense. I don't want to really bore you with, oh, I had a bad day at work, you know. And I talked about this stuff last week, I think, which, by the way, is really, really good. But how many times can you talk about that? So, and then I was chatting with some friends, and you guys know who you are. I won't call you out, but somebody pointed out the current price of Boswell pipes, which is going up, you know. And there was another artisan that, you know, somebody said, well, these are too expensive. Won't be buying those pipes anymore. And you know, I thought, yeah, you know, you start paying $400 for something like this. That's a lot of money. And a lot of artisan pipe prices have really jumped up to the point where I used to think, oh, maybe I'll buy one a year. Now I'm wondering if maybe that's even reasonable for me. Not that I couldn't do it, but why would I do it? I don't need the pipes. I'm just doing it as a, you know, a little gift to myself. And if it's $400, you know, when it was $250, it was okay. But you know, we're talking about $400 or $500. Maybe I'd rather spend that on a new tool for the shop or something. I don't know. Not like you need a pipe. But why is it so expensive? Well, I don't think all the artisans, pipe makers just said, hey, let's start raising our. No, everything's more expensive. You know, we've been through a really bad time, and our economy is a mess. It's getting better. It's going to get better. I really believe it's going to get better. Um, the materials are more expensive. Everything's more expensive. Mostly because cost of transportation, but let's not get into all that. Everything's more expensive, you know, and everybody's cutting back. Everybody's just trying to get by, you know. So don't be mad at that guy that raised his prices because he's just trying, especially if it's you know, a guy that's just making pipes and trying to keep his family going. That guy isn't trying to gouge you. He's just trying to keep afloat. But that got me thinking about some of the recent news in the tobacco world. And I know I haven't talked about this because honestly, well, it just doesn't interest me. I'm not interested in the intrigue of, you know, what's happening with McBaron and Sutliff and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm sad that they're not, those blends are gone away, but it just doesn't interest me. You know, it's going to happen. It's business. And I think we lose sight of that. We lose sight of the fact that, well, it's been there for 100 years. Surely it'll be there tomorrow. Well, if it's not making money, it's not going to be there tomorrow because that company has employees that they need to pay. In some cases, they have stockholders that they need to satisfy. And, you got to make tough choices. We stop making this thing that's not making money, that we're taking a loss on, or we have to lay off people. Or we have to tell our stockholders that the stock is devalued, and then they all drop stock like crazy, and then the company goes bankrupt. You got to make these decisions sometimes. And it's tough, especially when it's something you care about that's going away. So is this like the canary in the coal mine? Are we starting to see the end to this thing we've enjoyed for so long? I've heard some people say that. And more on this might be a little bit too big. Just got a big chunk of old Joe Krantz. I've heard people say that. I've heard people say that this is it. Stock up. We're going to lose it. And I'll say this: it certainly isn't. Isn't the time when I've felt most confident that pipe smoking will be here for the rest of my life. I still believe that, but my confidence is shaken a bit, I think. But should you rush out and buy up everything and build a giant cellar because the end is nigh? No. Now, if your favorite blend happens to be one of the ones that's going away and you have the opportunity to stock up on it, yeah, by all means do that. The only thing that I truly enjoy from Mac Baren, and there's some. So I think their H&H Burley Flake was very good. The Amphora line was excellent. 90% of what they make I can't smoke because it's just that topping really bites the heck out of me and just doesn't taste good to me. Most Mac Baren blends taste the same to me because of that topping. But I know there's people that love them, and I really feel for you that those are disappearing. If Haunted Bookshop was going away, I'd be pretty distraught, but I'd move on, and you'll move on. Three Nuns is the one that I would have really missed, and that's one that they're keeping. So, okay. Sutliff. Yeah. When I think of Sutliff, I think of things like Molto Dolce. There we go. My Italian isn't working today. My Italian's never working. Yeah, Sutliff, I know they've got other things, and I know, but I'm not going to miss that. I'm really not. But that's me personally. If we were talking about Cornell and Deal right now, I'd be one of the guys saying, the end is near. Because it would be for me, But the truth is, if you go back to like 1960s, 1970s, and you look at what people had available in terms of pipe tobacco, we're still doing a whole lot better. We still have an unbelievable selection to choose from. And yeah, it's going to get more expensive. And yes, there's going to be fewer and fewer choices because that's economics. That's the way the world works. If there's fewer pipe smokers, there's going to be fewer pipe tobaccos, and they're going to be more expensive. Now, should you start cellaring? Yes. Yes, and it's got nothing to do with this. I've been saying this for years. Pipe tobacco, and other people have been saying it longer than me. Pipe tobacco is never going to be cheaper than it is right now. It's just not. It doesn't matter if the economy changes tomorrow and all of a sudden the cost of supplies and everything else decreases. In very few cases are you going to see the cost of a product go back to where it was prior to this kind of a jump. maybe a few dollars, maybe, but it's not going to be a significant decrease. You're never going to see on a bookshop for $20 a pound again. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, if you can afford to do it, and you've got the space and the wherewithal, by all means, if you have blends you like, cellar them. But not because in 5 years you're not going to be able to buy pipe tobacco. I just really don't believe that's going to happen. It will be more expensive. But I don't think we're looking at the end. And again, I do not want to in any way underappreciate the impact of what's happening with McBaron and Sutliff. I do understand that it's a lot of blends that are going away, and for a lot of folks, they're favorites. So don't think that I'm just, saying, it doesn't matter. It does matter. But life goes on. Kind of did the thought of experiment. What if Haunted Bookshop disappeared tomorrow? What if Cornell and Deal disappeared tomorrow? I would probably. I've got a lot cellared. I could probably go for years without having to worry about it. I'd probably smoke less, just because I'd be more concerned about conserving what I had. I've got a lot of other stuff in my cellar that I don't smoke just because it's not my thing. I'd probably start mixing that in more. So maybe have 2 bowls of Haunted Bookshop a day, and the rest of the day smoke other things. Things that are good, but just not my go-tos. And maybe I begin searching for that replacement. Trying to find something that does it for me. But there's no permanent solution. You could grow your own tobacco and blend it yourself, and that's, people do that, but you're not going to get an exact match to your favorite blend. Maybe you'll get something you really like, but then that's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work. But I've got some burley seeds, and thank you, Jeff. I've got burley seeds. I've grown it. I know how to do it, and if it comes to it, I can do it. But I don't think it's going to come to that, and I don't. At least for the rest of my life, and granted, some of you guys are a lot younger than me, but for the rest of my life, I think I'm going to be okay. So don't panic. And don't get so tied up in worrying about what's happening that you can't enjoy what's right here, right now. Enjoy. Don't take that 5 tins of McBaron London Burley or whatever your favorite is and put it away and say, oh no, that's too precious, because you'll never smoke it then. And believe me, I've got tins like that. Tins that I just don't want to open because I know I can't get it again. Which, is for the first couple of years, you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to give it 5 years. Oh, I'm just going to give it 8 years. And then before you know it, it's like the thing you're never going to open, which is a waste. Don't do that. Enjoy it. I think all things in life need to be approached that way, where we've got to be reasonable. We've got to take care, be good stewards of what we've got. But we've also got to enjoy it. And if we're so worried about the future that we ignore the present for anything, we're wasting that precious gift of the present. Because I was talking to someone earlier last week, on Instagram, chatting on Instagram, and you know who you are. And we were talking about this idea of being worried about what's to come versus what's happening right now. And if you're happy right now, that's good, because the only time you can be happy is right now. You can't be happy tomorrow. You can hope that when tomorrow comes, you're happy, but you can't make yourself happy tomorrow, today, because if you do that, you're not happy today. That sounded more complicated than I intended it to. Someone who's really down and out, and just lost your job and everything is going to heck, and you say, how can that person be happy? Well, they got a plan. They know there's a path, and maybe just understanding that that path exists makes them happy right now. Knowing that there's actions you can take can make you happy right now. So you're not happy because you're going to do that thing tomorrow and it might work, because then when tomorrow comes, it might not work. You're happy because you have the option, and you're happy right now, not tomorrow. And of course, when tomorrow comes, it will be right now. Just future right now. Well, I think I'm going to tie this up before I create a temporal paradox. I wasn't expecting to go there. I just really wanted to talk about the tobacco thing. And I do think that it's worth, like I said, cellaring things just because of the economics of it. You want to buy now because it's cheaper than it's going to be in 5 years. But at the same time, I wouldn't panic buy because it's going away, because it's not going to go away. A blend might go away, but the entire industry is not going to go away. So that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm taking it easy today. I hurt my back yesterday. This time I know exactly how I did it, and when it happened, I bent over to pick something up and used my back instead of my knees, and so I was on the heating pad all morning and got some Celebrex and feeling better. But if I start doing too much, it's gonna get much worse. So just gotta relax today, let things settle. Tomorrow's another day. So with that, my friends, I am going to let you get off to your Sundays. Hopefully you're not dealing with back pain or anything else for that matter. But have a great Sunday. Enjoy it. I hope you're looking forward to a great week ahead. And until we speak again, I will look forward to talking to you all again very soon. Goodbye now.